So, what I've been thinking about is times in my life where I either left a loved one behind or I was left behind by a loved one. Specific instances, and maybe the biggest one, is I had a twin that was stillborn. And so I've done quite a bit of work on abandonment. And also, I wonder, did she leave me or did I leave her? And um, how has that impacted me? I know that I've had other instances in my life where, for example, I had dogs that I had to leave behind because I moved overseas and I could not bring them. And it filled me with such grief and guilt. And so there's some issues that I feel like I've touched on in sessions, but I feel like there's still some stuff there around abandonment, guilt. And so I'd like to know a few things like what is the origin of that? Um, and what is it teaching me?
The information that was coming in when you were talking about your twin, and I want to make sure that you said the twin was stillborn. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yes,
Okay. So you went through the entire birthing process as far as incubation and everything inside of your mom.
correct.
There is a word, I'm trying to come up with a word. It is not abandonment, it's a
Oh,
severing of the connection from the womb to the actual birth. So when you came out and she came out, when you came out, there was a separation with your energies because you were almost like one in there, but something happened inside of you. It was such a big shock to your system as at an unconscious level. So what I want to do is I want to move some of that energy first because it's really big and I'm not exactly sure where to go with it. Okay. So
okay.
I want to do that first and then see where these other things come in because the abandonment's not so big right now. The guilt of the conditions that you had to leave dogs and things like that, that's a condition and we can work on that. But this piece of severing, that's the word I keep hearing is severing. Okay. So close
Yep.
your eyes, put your hand on your heart, take a couple of deep breaths. I want you to imagine this light all around you, grounding you, connecting you. And all around that light are these record keepers. And they are here to help us remove any trap or stuck energy that's in your DNA right now, connected to any of this. There we go. Say this silently. God source, I stand in this light, and I am acknowledging that there is energy present that I am wanting to heal in this moment, connected to my twin sister who was born stillborn. I release at the DNA level any ways that my energy field from in the womb through birth was severed in a way that has not been healed and repaired because of the loss of that soul in my incarnation in this lifetime. At least the grief, the sadness that I was born with in the loss of my twin sister. Release this now at the DNA level. anyways, that grief and that loss has been carried with me all the way to today. I ask for every thought, word, action, and emotion to be acknowledged, that this grief and loss is there. Put it into the light, into the record keeper's hands to heal it in this present moment. DNA level. Just breathe. I can feel it in your heart and in your stomach. The letting go, the release.
Yes, my heart is skipping.
Yeah. The acknowledgement of it. This is pre-verbal. This is the moment you took your first breath. This is from that place of all-knowing connected to your mom, to coming into this world, the separation from mom, but the separation and from your that soul that you spent the whole time with, preparing to come into this world.
And I feel like it's manifested throughout my life as a underlying feeling like a shaky foundation. Like and how it manifests for me is being constantly vigilant, like over planning and planning for every contingency so that I can create a stable foundation for my home, for my family, for myself. And so it feels like this. I started off with this shock and trauma and shaky foundation, and I've spent 6 decades trying to control situations so that I could feel stability.
What they were saying was, when you were in the womb with her, when this happened, when you came into this world alive and she did not, there was a ripping at your energy and the foundation of what made you safe. So you came from the womb feeling safe and comfortable to coming out and completely feeling unsafe. And that is where the rip or tear is in that big thing. But the piece that I'm trying to get it, because it's not quite clear, but there's words that I can't quite come up with. When you moved from the womb into this world, and she came in and she was not there with you, there is a piece. It's not a foundation because behind the creating the foundation of stability is a fear. Here we go. A fear of the rug being lifted out or ripped out from under you in every situation. So you're always pre-planning, but the energy behind it is fear that you're going to forget something, make a mistake, and one of your loved ones is going to die. I mean, it's that cut and dry. So go back with me right now, okay? Close your eyes, go all the way back with me as far as you can to being in the womb, and then coming out with the recognition of this awareness that she's not with you. And all the ways that that has negatively affected the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. We've got to heal that big energy construct at the DNA level right now. So turn it over, put it in the light in the hands of the record keepers. We're asking that baby, that moment, that first breath, to be put into your arms right now, so that God and the record keepers can help her to feel whole and not ripped apart from the only security that you ever felt was your sister in that womb. Releasing and healing all that's present from that unconscious moment of that first breath at the DNA level. And all the ways that that has manifested in overthinking, overdoing, over planning, over. But the fear behind it is if I don't do this, someone's going to die. If I don't do this, the rug is going to be pulled out from under me and I will not survive. Release this at the DNA level to God and the record keepers right now. Just breathe. What I'm asking the record keepers to do right now is to span your entire records from the origin of this ever happening, even if it was other lifetimes, but especially when it happened in this lifetime throughout this entire incarnation, every thought, word, action, and emotion that was touched or changed by this instance be healed and completed right now at the DNA level. And I want you to see it almost like a vacuum in your Akashic records or the quantum field, just like a vacuum. That past just vacuums up into the present moment. It's healed. It is activated and healed. Breathe and just allow that feeling to come in of a completion. Completion of all of that. Comfort and change in this present moment. Because this awareness is there. They want you to bring in the energy to be able to relax, just to relax into that trust. Trust that whatever shows up, whoever shows up, not only do you have it, but you are surrounded by the record keepers, your higher self, and all of your soul and spirit team allies, and even your soul of your sister, that loved one. She's there. Let that activate in DNA. It's present moment. There's still some stuff releasing from the heart and the throat now. Heart and throat. How are you feeling?
A little out of my body right now.
Just breathe in and let this be your new foundation. Because you said that word earlier. Foundation is a really, really a wonderful word to use because we're always creating a foundation of stability and connection, right? So we can create a foundation in every thought, word, and action. Right now, they're saying just pull into your heart, breathe, and bring all of yourself not just into that grounding position, but connected to your higher self, to the record keepers, to God's source. Make that energy just flow in and ground you in a clarity that you've never experienced.
I think a clarity that's coming up is, for example, my relationship to my husband. It is, I think that there's, as we age, there's fear around me losing him. And I have my own independence. I'm an independent person, but there is very definitely a clinginess to my relationship with him. Deep love, yes, but I wonder if that clinginess, or that he is, my person, and so I'm hoping that this work here will help me let him be him and me be me, without it being so enmeshed. That's the word I'm looking for, enmeshed.
That's a good word to put into the Akashic connection DNA protocol. Have you worked on that in your own records?
I don't think I've used that word.
That's a good word. It's a very good one. So let's do it.
Yes.
Because what you're saying is everything that you're saying is normal. Everything that you're saying is normal. He's your person. You want to make sure that you allow him the freedom to be able to go move and expand himself in whatever way he wants to, just as you want to do that for yourself. But there's that core connection at the soul level. So if you have fear behind it of loss, and it still kind of creeps in because of age or illness or whatever happens, right? You have to go back and heal, not just the enmeshment, but any time you've ever experienced loss of a spouse in another lifetime and it was devastating to you. That's what you're working on. It's going to devastate you. There is going to be loss. Whoever goes first, the other one is going to, experience grief, loss, and it's going to be hard because you're each other's person. The thing is how you handle it in each present moment moving forward with it is what the record keepers are saying. And they're saying you're going to be fine, whatever happens. I mean, I'm hearing that clearly from your records because you're very much about going deep and expanding yourself in every moment. So just that's a little caveat to the side. But let's do enmeshment.
Yes, please.
Let's do that. Get yourself centered and grounded. Life's all around you. Record are here. Say this silently. God source, we stand in this light to heal any enmeshment that is trapped in my Akashic records, my past lives, in my genetic lineages on either side, and in this lifetime, any conditioning of enmeshment. Any ways that I judge that word, enmeshment. All of this gets healed at the DNA level right now. Healing and completing what is not serving me or my loved ones this present lifetime, wherever it's trapped within my Akashic records and in my genetic lineage, past, present, and future. I forgive myself when I was so enmeshed with someone that I did not have my own identity. Forgive myself and I release. Or when my loved one could not find their own identity because they were so enmeshed with me. I forgive them, I forgive myself, and I release this at the DNA level right now. What I heard pop in is there's a thread running through all of this loss and enmeshment is having to control. So
that is ever present in my life.
It's ever present in everyone's life because we have those darn mind egos. Those darn mind egos. They want us to control situations and control everything so that we don't get hurt again. That's just the bottom line of it. So we won't get hurt again. So got to look at it. This is stuff that's happened in other lifetimes. But think about the bigness of what the record keepers just said, because that you have lost, I'm sure, people in this lifetime, but you haven't lost your person in this lifetime. You've lost people and loved ones, I'm sure, but not your person. So let's go real specific. Any past lives where I have lost my person, my spouse, my lover, my child, my children, I release the fear of that pain, that loss, not being able to actually recover from it. I release fear that, oh my gosh, it's going to happen again. I release the fear of not being able to handle it and keep going because it has really hurt me in other lifetimes. And my ego mind is hanging on to it this lifetime, trying to control situations, trying to control the outcome, hoping that the rug doesn't get pulled out from under me because I fear. Just what I'm letting go of, God source, record keepers. What that experience will do to me. I release that fear now. DNA level. From anywhere that I've trapped myself. Hidden, masked, cloaked, trapped, disguised into the light. Because I know that part of this human experience is loss. I release all fear behind control, behind the enmeshment, behind the hanging on for dear life. Release it. All the fear behind it from all past lives, from anywhere that my genetic lineage is trapped in any of this on either side. And I heal my soul from that big, big, big thing that we all have to do. So we have to go through those as a human being. I release it deeply as I can, as consciously as I can, from my unconscious right now. There's a lot moving.
I have an image in my mind of being out in space and like an astronaut on a walk in space, and the line was severed, just floating away.
Go inside.
I don't know what I'm feeling.
Because it's so big what you did. You're drifting out there. I want you to, was the cord still there? Was the cord still connected to you when you were drifting out in space, or did the cord get severed?
Correct. The cord got severed.
There you go. I want you to think about that. Go back to what we talked about in the records with your sister. Those umbilical cords, when they came out, they could, she was stillborn. She wasn't there. You feel that in your heart, your stomach right now?
Yeah.
That's what you let go of right now. That one breath baby, that one that took that breath, and you were in this strange place, and then all of a sudden you realize that she's gone. You have no conscious way, your mind has no conscious way of processing this. So that's what you want to do. You want to let the mind understand that there's no way it can comprehend what happened. We just have to go inside and let these feelings, the emotions, these awarenesses come into the present moment and be given to our higher selves, to God's source and the record keepers. There's no way to comprehend what just happened, especially when you connected the dots, seeing the vision of you floating out in space without cord. Yeah. So release that. Release the sadness. Release the fear. Release there's nothing. There's not one thing you can do. You are adrift. You're just gonna have to trust. That's life. Yeah, I'm saying it too, and I'm going, oh man. That's it. Whoops. Oh,
Ooh,
I know.
thank you.
Lord, thank you. I think that's helpful to anybody. I really do. Anyone that, is struggling with allowing their mind to be part of the whole group, what it takes to be a human being, the mind, the body, the emotions, that big, beautiful spirit that we come in to merge it all together. So you just merged some big stuff.
Yeah. Connected a lot of dots.
Yeah. How are you? Do you want to do an activation and kind of bring in and fill all that up? Or do you feel pretty grounded?
I'd like to do an activation.
Right. So breathe, pull everything, because I know you said you were kind of spacey. Pull everything into your heart and let it just let it flow down through your feet. Just pull yourself back in so that you get grounded. That stream of energy and light is coming through your records right now, coming from God's source. We're going to activate, integrate, download the ground at the DNA level. An awareness and a clarity of what it is to be comfortable with trusting life, with trusting evolution, not just myself, but my loved ones. I activate in realm that trust in myself and that bigger part of myself, which is the part of me that I came here to reclaim and experience and expand with. I am changed. As I was doing that, I started to feel some stuff in your stomach. You feel it kind of tightened up a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
All that is a part of you that is still afraid. Part of you that's trapped somewhere in this lifetime or a past life. That's all it is. So we're going to we're going to ask that whatever part to be brought into the present moment that is still afraid of letting go and trusting. Okay? And we'll see. Pay attention. If anything shows up, like a memory or a year or an instance that happened, we want to look at that a little bit deeper, okay?
Okay.
So record keepers, ask that you bring into the present moment any aspect that is trapped in fear and powerlessness of trusting and letting go. Trusting, letting go. Any powerlessness. With the light. Got an instance?
Yes, it's another dot that's connecting, and I've always had recurring dreams about nightmares about tornadoes. So this feeling of being swept up out of control and tossed wherever. So I feel like and it's usually in the times in my life where I'm under a lot of stress. But that image of the tornado coming in and just picking me up and spitting me out.
So the thing that I want you to do is I want you to remember the first time. How old were you when you had that first time you had that dream? That's really important. We need to heal her because she's trapped.
Huh. Wow. It's been a very long time. The 12 years old is coming to my mind. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's
That's what's
the
coming to
age.
mind. Let's start with that first, okay, and see where it goes from there, okay? So I want you to imagine your 12-year-old standing out in front of you. And if she was your child and she had just had this major dream, you'd be comforting her right now. So I want you to say to her, it's a dream. I know you're shook up, but it's also part of our evolution. I didn't know that until right now. So what I want you to do is to allow me to hold you, bring you into my heart, and help you heal the way that this dream, reoccurring dream, has affected us from the first time we had it. It is part of our soul's evolution, but it's also here to help heal the genetic evolution. So let's release and heal any ways that the reoccurring dream, which started with you, has affected us in a negative way throughout this lifetime. I release it and I heal it right now for all of us. And just take a breath. Are you hearing anything or remembering anything?
No, I just had an image of us kind of sitting on the ground facing each other and hugging.
Good. Good. Allow those pieces of your soul, even the ones that were unconscious from her, let her integrate and come in to this present moment so she can see and feel everything's okay. She got this.
Yeah. Big smile.
Good. Good, good, good. Now sit there in your heart, because we brought some pieces back, from the womb, from, the first moment you took a breath, some stuff around your relationship with your husband. All these pieces are coming back, these pieces of your soul. So sit with it, see, you're connected to the dots, but see if there's anything still present with any of that.
I just see dots of light and they're connected. It feels like it's integrating.
Okay. So let's do it consciously. You see all the dots of light? Some of them are probably dim, some of them are pretty close. Why not open your whole self up, your whole heart, and allow those pieces to come back that are ready to come back? That takes real trust. That takes real connection. So I'm going to be quiet now and I'm going to let you do that, okay? Bring them all back. Let them come into your heart.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Ah. Yeah, look how big you're smiling. Look at that pretty smile.
It's like my
That's what it
heart
feels.
has I just have this image in my heart with, the little fairy lights, a whole big old string of. My takeaway from this is that what's profound for me is that it's not just about losing a person. Of course, that was, my experience, but this is everybody experiences loss, whether it's loss of a person, loss of a pet, loss of a baby, loss of a job, a lifestyle. And so what was valuable for me was to be able to just trust that I could get through this, that I could move forward with it. You don't get over it, but you move forward with it. And so it gave me great peace to be able to accept that and be at peace with it.
Feeling more clear and calm inside in this present moment.
Yes.
That's good. That's what the DNA protocol can do, changing the energy from wherever it's trapped to the present moment, where we start again every breath as we move forward.
And I
Now
feel
we're going to
more
do it with more trust.
integrated. Yeah, I feel more integrated. Like when I was able to connect these dots, then it's almost like validating, like, oh, okay, this is why I have behaved in certain ways over the course of my life, and that's okay. And by doing this protocol, I feel like I'm more integrated in accepting, yes, this happened to me. This is what I experienced. This is how I behaved. And I can move forward in a more integrated way.
That's wonderful. Can't ask for anything better than that.
Right.